After completing over 22,000 nutrition coaching check-ins over the last 10 years, here are the 6 main things that produce better results and happier clients. Starting with number 1, asking better questions. As a nutrition coach, you're there to listen to your clients and help them work through problems, but you can't be reading through walls of text. And if you're getting these type of answers back, it's because you're not asking good questions. To get more concise answers, making it easier to coach and more effective to coach, you need to ask better questions, and here are 2 of my favorites. Number 1, reflect on how well you stuck to your nutrition, health, and lifestyle goals for the week. Before your coach responds, think about any successes that you can build on and any strategies that might help with issues, and list them right here. And then as a follow-up question, number 2, based on what you detailed here, what is one action you can put into play this week that will make everything easier? When you ask better questions, you automatically get your clients reflecting on what went well and what needs improvement in their weeks. In some cases, they start to coach themselves, and then they start providing more concise and better feedback, which makes coaching them so much easier. So start asking better questions, but you also want to get your clients thinking more positively. For whatever reason, humans have a tendency to be really hard on themselves. But if you have nutrition clients that have signed up and paid for coaching, checked in on time, and are also putting the effort into improving themselves, they are doing a pretty good job and so much better than they could be. Make sure you remind them of this on a weekly basis. You need to congratulate them. Let's even take a step back even further before the actual check-in process. Asking for help for anything is not an easy thing to do. So when someone asks for your help with their nutrition or your fitness, you need to say, hey, this is a good thing. You reached out to me. This is the first step. Because this builds trust and rapport and starts building momentum in the right direction. This type of positivity goes a long way. So if your clients are showing up and checking in on time and doing the work regardless of the outcome, remember to congratulate them. This type of positivity in the check-in process goes a long way. Number 3, you want to make sure to build that personal connection, which can be tough to do in the online space. Here's the formula for nutrition coaching results. Results come from the science of nutrition multiplied by the right action steps, and all of this is compounded by being a coach who cares. Of course, you need to master what is going on in the brackets, which if anyone needs an order of operations lesson, we can review that too. But all of this goes over so much better when it's delivered by a coach that cares. And most importantly, by a coach that is trusted. And I want to talk about how to build trust for a second. The best way to get someone to trust you, especially in the online space, is to get them to listen to you. This happens so much faster and more effectively if they can hear you and see you talking about their nutrition stuff through video. So work some video into your client check-ins so your clients can hear you talk about their entire week. This humanizes the entire process. And if you haven't yet got a chance to check out my hybrid check-in process, the one where I show you how to make more money in less time by streamlining your check-in process, make sure to comment hybrid in the comments below and I'll get it over to you. This is the best thing you can do to build that personal connection in your check-ins, so start using video right away. But we also want to make sure that there's a clear focus in your check-ins. Most nutrition coaches give their clients way too much stuff that they could work on, meaning they aren't prescriptive and direct enough, and this is the thing that gets results. Once you review a client's week, take a second and think, what is the one thing that this client needs to do to get to the next level? Then start to build an action item around that, and that will be the main focus for the week. The client really doesn't need to focus on anything else. Most new nutrition coaches really struggle with this concept. We had a student in the last cohort of the Dr. Mark method that was struggling with just that. He was a really smart coach and he knew what he was doing, but he was giving his clients way too much potential stuff that they could work on. It looked like 3 to 5 action items, not being very clear about what the next step was. And his ability to get results with his clients really suffered. And since nutrition coaching is a results-based business, he wasn't getting any new clients. This is the first thing we fixed with his nutrition coaching process. Once we got him to focus on one clear action item per week with each client, the results took off. The key here is getting much more focused and thinking about the low-hanging fruit that your client needs to master before they move on to the next thing. Once you do this, your nutrition coaching check-ins will become much more effective and the results will take off. But we also need to make sure that our nutrition coaching check-ins are efficient and streamlined. With the right nutrition coaching strategy and process, your client knows exactly what they need to do to check in, what the next step is for them within 5 to 10 minutes, and where they can come back to review everything. This process needs to be dialed in so the expectations need to be crystal clear. And with the right strategy, this means that you're not going to need to be talking to them the entire week. Your client doesn't want this and it doesn't help you. This scenario reminds me of Dr. Mark Method's student Roxanne. Before our program, Roxanne was working with 2 to 3 clients, but they were taking all of her time. She wanted to prioritize her nutrition coaching business and take things to the next level, level and even quit her full-time job, but she didn't have enough clients. And the main issue was that handful of clients, they were taking up all of her time. She couldn't market her business because she spent all of her time coaching. The big fix for her was making her check-in process much more efficient and streamlined. She got crystal clear around the expectations so her clients knew when to check in and what kind of information they needed to submit. And before you know it, her check-ins were taking 5 to 10 minutes instead of hours. And she was able to take on many more clients, mainly because it was so much simpler for her to check in, but she also had more time to actually market her services. And then within months, she went from 3 paying clients to almost 20, and she was actually able to quit her full-time job to prioritize her nutrition coaching. All because she made her check-in process much more efficient and streamlined, and you need to do this too. And the last check-in tip here is keeping everything in one place. The best way to help your clients is to stay organized. And the best way to do that is to keep everything in one place. Usually in the effort to better serve their clients, some nutrition coaches give their clients open access. You know, feel free to message me anytime and anywhere. And they start getting messages and emails and direct messages and phone calls, and everything is all over the place. And since correspondence is happening all over the place, they can't really remember what, when, and where things were discussed. You need to encourage your clients to sticking to one way of checking in, so everything is in one place, making the entire coaching process much more effective. This is what's best for not only you, so you can keep your sanity, but also for them. If you don't have everything in front of you when you're answering questions, you're not gonna give them good answers. So keep everything in one place so you can go back to what you talked about and make sure that there's a paper trail. The best way to do this is usually a combination of email and inserting videos into your actual check-ins, so everything is right in front of you when you're coaching your nutrition clients. Now, as great as all those tips are, if you're really serious about starting a nutrition coaching business, then next thing I'll have you do is check out this video I've linked up right here. Now that you know the best tips to actually check in with your clients, let me walk you through the check-in process step by step. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.